Nice, man. I love it. Hello and welcome to The Good Interview. I am your host, Colin Birch, and today we are fortunate enough to be at the Imibala Trust here in bright Somerset West. So, I'm joined today by Theo Willemse, the CEO of the Imibala Trust. Theo, thank you so much for joining us, or for inviting us here, should I say. And tell me, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. This is our happy place. This is where children come to be happy, to be recognized, to be given opportunities, all based on respect, grace and courtesy, with a big flavour of kindness. That's what we're doing.
A big flavour of kindness. I like that. All right, so let's get right into it. For those who might be unaware, how did Imibala start, and how has it grown over the years?
It started 22 years ago by the mother of Mrs. Rupert. She started art classes for adults, and then very soon after, Mrs. Rupert herself recognized the huge need in the townships for school uniforms. So she started the Imibala Trust, and our first big project was provide children with a school uniform to restore dignity and self-esteem, with huge impact. And the programs have just grown. Imibala has grown to this village that I've shown you just now, with art classes, performing art, creative art, ballet school, we have an academic setup, a pottery studio, a garden, vegetable garden, with the century footpath. The list is long.
Yeah, it seems like you guys do just about everything. Yeah.
It's a holistic approach. So we try to give the children as much opportunities as we possibly can, just by exposing them to what's out there, waiting for them.
I love it. And so, how have you and Mrs. Rupert continued turning greater days into brighter tomorrows?
Well, it's more Mrs. Rupert than me. She had the vision, and she did it for many years. I joined about 10 years ago as a music and drama teacher, as a volunteer, on Thursdays and Saturdays, which I did for a while. And then, unfortunately, I fell ill, was out of the picture for quite a while, and then came back now 5.5 years ago. And Mrs. Rupert phoned and she said, "Don't you want to run Imibala and see if we can get it to greater heights?"
And the rest is
history. Yeah. Here we are.
I like it.
So it's a vision of the trustees that we execute. So I can't take any credit for anything. I'm just the man who works very hard with the team to fulfill the vision of our visionary. And we're very happy people and very positive people. We don't do negativity, which is why I love the Good newspaper, because I think we're on the same page. There's too much negativity in the world. So we try to create a culture where the children feel safe, happy, they're being recognized, which is very important. And it's all based on 3 very important pillars: respect, grace and courtesy. And it's amazing if you can get those fundamentals right. Everything just flows after that. So the culture is all about empowerment, upliftment, and restoring self-esteem and dignity in our children that need it most, because they all come from broken homes, broken families, broken roads, everything's broken. That's all they know. So when they come to Imibala, we want them to experience excellence in a safe and happy environment. So that's what we do.
It's a beautiful vision you guys have here and have implemented throughout the 22 years. And so tell me, could you elaborate a bit more on the initiatives and programs that you guys serve here?
Yeah, so it all started with school uniforms, then art was added, creative arts. But because the need is so big, a lot of we work with non-fee paying schools. So our mandate is to work with schools in the townships. So we've got 34 schools in total. They select the children that are most needy. And then we quickly identified the need for other programs. So creative arts became performing arts, became a cooking school. Play therapy was added because 80% of our children are traumatized in some form or way. So we have play therapists that work with the children on an ongoing basis. Then there was a huge need for academic support. So we have literacy classes, coding classes, robotics, and Lego therapy. And from then on, we decided now we need a vegetable garden because we're cooking food for 800 kids that come here from Monday to Friday. Why not use our own vegetables that we teach the children how to grow, how to maintain, how to harvest, and then how to prepare in our food. So it's an organic, holistic approach, and we're just growing and growing. We now have skills department because we recognize the need for for those who can't go to university but have amazing skills.
Yeah, such as carpentry, sewing.
Yeah, exactly. And we want to keep expanding on that. So we see collaboration with other NGOs and doing just that.
So which other NGOs are you guys working with at the moment?
In Zanzibar, ballet is one of them. In Johannesburg, a gentleman called Panos. We are embarking on a new journey with them, which is amazing.
Okay.
There's local charities that we work with. Tirio is a school for street children in Somerset West. So we fully support all those children. They all come for their school uniform. They're all in our programs. Christoph Elson is a school for disabled children. Yeah, the list is long.
Yeah, no, it seems like it, and I really do love this holistic approach that you guys have going. It really allows you to, see where the students' interest lies, right, and their potential too, and then able to capitalize on that, which is so necessary in actually unfurling the growing personality and the growing being. So kudos to you guys for that.
Thank you. Yeah, and because it was such a success in Somerset West, we've expanded. So we now have Imibala in Graafrenet in Eastern Cape, which is fully operational. We are opening in Hermanus in Moriesburg in the beginning of next year. Amsterdam, London, Frankfurt, and hopefully New York in the next 3 months.
That is incredible. So it's a worldwide organization now.
Because we need dollars, pounds, and euros to fund all this and to help more children.
Yes, no,
that's the goal.
Of course, yeah. And so, how many children would you say come through here on a day-to-day basis?
It's 800 a week. So on any given day, we have about 250 to 300 children.
Wow.
We have our own transport, so we transport all the children ourselves from and to the schools. So we don't work with parents directly because that's mission impossible with so many children. So we have on average about 34,000 visits.
Wow.
A week. That's a lot.
That is a lot. You guys definitely have your hands full. And how many staff members do you guys have working here?
We have 30 full-time staff members over all the different Imibalas, but 60 active volunteers. So an NGO can only function, an NGO like ours can only function if you have a ratio of 2 to 1. So we have 60 committed active volunteers. And what I'm very excited about is that those volunteers, the average age when I started was over 60, and the average age is now under 30.
Wow.
So we've attracted a lot of young people who want to make a difference. Our generation screwed a lot up, so it's nice to have the youngsters that want to come and make it better and help us to make it better. So I'm very proud of our young people, and a lot of the young people are former Imibala students.
Oh, that's incredible.
That came through our ranks and come back to give back. I unfortunately stopped teaching music and drama, which I was doing, because the children don't relate to me anymore. They relate to young people. All I see is old men with white hair. So I don't tick the boxes anymore. So I'm doing other stuff, and the children, we have amazing young staff, amazing young volunteers that make a difference.
Well, you say that until, as you mentioned earlier to me, or before we started recording, the fact that oftentimes you walk into a classroom with your guitar in hand and just start strumming, just start playing, and lifting the spirits, and that seems like there's still a space for you.
No, there is.
Yeah. So tell me, Theo, about your Yes-Ya-Yebo show. How did that come about, and how did it end up in Edinburgh Fringe Festival?
Okay, it's an interesting story. So Moira Downey lives in England. Her husband is Mervyn Stutter, and he's quite a well-known stand-up comedian. And they have been working at the Fringe Festival in Edinburgh for the last, I think, 25 years. So he's a phenomenon in the UK. And they always raised some money, and they always donated it to the music department and performing arts department of Imibala. But Moira's big dream and Mervyn's big dream was to have children come to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and do a month of performing. But it's 3,500 performances.
Wow.
It's the second largest festival in the world after the Olympics.
Wow, I didn't
So it's huge. The whole town of Edinburgh is plastered in venues with hundreds of thousands of people coming to visit. There's more than 1 million people that visited. So it's always been a dream, and then finally we got some money together and we just took the plunge last year. It was a big risk. We got 8 young people selected, untrained, So we trained him for 6 months, we put a show together, and it was an instant hit. They arrived in Edinburgh, and we got on Al Jazeera News Global, we got on BBC World, and not just with a snippet, but with a feature. The children were approached for other projects by big international celebrities, companies.
That's incredible.
And then we went again this year. But the most amazing part was when you ask the youngsters, okay guys, what is the most special thing about your month in Edinburgh? It's not being in Europe, it's not being on an airplane. It's because we give them, we rent student housing, and they each have their own room with a shower. And when they're not performing, you can't get them out of the room because they're not used to privacy. So these are kids raw from the townships, and what they like best about this whole experience is sit in their room because they got privacy. Yeah, but in saying that, the aftermath of what has happened has just been amazing. So we're going again next year. We're doing a audition on Friday, and we're going to select another 10 children and see what we can do next year.
That's incredible. And so, might I ask, what is the Yes-Ya-Yebo show?
So the show is music, dance, and acting, and we do the 12 languages of South Africa. So we represent the 12 languages. So they do a Zulu dance, they do a Xhosa dance, they do Afrikaans, a Saki dance. But it's high energy. It's 1 hour of high energy, non-stop musical entertainment and dance and singing, and the talent is just unbelievable. So 2 of them have been selected to go to Mzansi Ballet in Johannesburg. Unfortunately, they said no because they want to study.
Oh, wow.
But they were offered to come for a full year and perform with Mzansi Ballet at Andrea Bocelli's concert, to go to Lake Lugano in Switzerland in the whole month of July. That's how talented they actually are. Yeah. And it proves that we're on the right track.
No doubt about that.
But most importantly, it's not just about the talent, it's about helping them to become good humans. That's what we love doing. And I think we're pretty successful in doing that. They're amazing young people.
Yeah, no, and I mean, it might be a truism, but there really is nothing that really opens your mind and expands your horizons like traveling as well. So, I mean, the show itself must be incredible, no doubt, but the general experience of being able to see these other places, to be able
no,
to...
of course, I mean, the room is one thing, but the whole experience is amazing. They get to see other shows, so they have 1 show a day, and the rest of the time they go see 1 or 2 other shows, because there's a free fringe and there's a paid fringe. So the free fringe is about 1,000 performances you can go see for free. So we obviously go to all those. So it's amazing to connect with other people from all over. They come from all over the world. And we've seen some amazing shows. We made some amazing connections, and the children made amazing connections. The youngest was 16 last year. I imagine you're 16, you've never been in an airplane, and off you go for a whole month to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
It's quite a thing.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. No. And so, I want to ask as well, for those who might wish to support Imibala, how can they do so?
Well, there's a monetary support, but I'm always looking for volunteers. Time is the most precious thing that nobody seems to have anymore. So if you give me your time, I'm eternally grateful. So volunteering is very welcome in either Hermanus, Grafenet, Somerset West or Mauritsburg. But there is a monetary support you can give us. Go to our website, imibala.com, and there's a donate page. And you'll be surprised how much 50 Rand gets you. We're grateful for every Rand we get, because if 100 people give us 50 Rand, do the math, and that's 4 lives changed, because it's 1,400 Rand to sponsor a child for a whole year with a school uniform, shoes, underwear, socks.
For a year, that's almost nothing.
And that's very cheap, and they get Veldschoen leather shoes, proudly South African made. So Veldschoen has been supporting us for a couple of years.
Yeah, so you're supporting local businesses too with it?
We do. All the clothing, well, most of the clothing is made in the townships by local people. So we try to keep it as close to home as we can.
All right. So, Theo, you have quite a charming character, if I might say so. The way that you handle your day-to-day operations, from what I can tell, is very enthusiastic, and it's infectious, if I could say it like that. And so I was just wondering, what is your life philosophy?
Just be happy.
Mm.
Be happy, be kind, and give more than you can receive.
Mm.
Simple as that.
That's beautiful.
And based on respect, grace, and courtesy.
Mm.
It's really not complicated.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what you get back.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. Sometimes we get so caught up in our day-to-day lives that we can forget that, you know, a small act of kindness, a little compliment here and there, or just a bit of positivity, how far that can go.
And it doesn't cost anything. And I've had my challenges. I've lost my son at a young age. I've had stage 4 cancer. I've been through the ringer.
Wow.
But I think my positivity kept me going.
It seems like it. Yeah.
And you also get into a space where everything is relative.
Mm.
So if someone can come to me with a problem, that's a big problem for him or her, but it's really minute on the greater scale of things. So if you put it in perspective, things become very simple. So that's what we try to do at Imibala. Stay positive. If there's a problem, we deal with it. We help you. But it's never a problem we can't overcome.
Yeah, with an attitude like that, I can believe it.
Yeah.
So, Theo, would you mind telling us about the impact that Imibala has had, and tell us some about the stories that you've experienced?
There's so many, but I'll give you 2. One is his name is William. I can't give you his surname for privacy reasons. But William came to us. He attended the school for street children, Theo, and we were told, he needs special attention. He's not talking much, and we don't think he's all there. So he came to us. He came to our art class, and his art was just exquisite for an 11-year-old. So the teacher came to me and said, "Listen, can't we get this child in play therapy because we think there's something special about him?" So we got William in play therapy, and lo and behold, after 3 months, the therapist came to me and said, "Listen, we need to have this child tested on EQ." So we did. His IQ was 160. Through the charts, super bright, genius level. But his EQ was 40 because he's never been stimulated in any formal way. Long story short, we did a fundraiser for him. We got bursary. He is now 3rd year in PAL at a school for highly gifted, and he is leader of his class. He talks non-stop. He's excelling in his studies, and he's going to be a rocket scientist or something crazy like that, because the world is his oyster.
That really is.
And it's just by exposing a child to something simple like art and positivity, and looking and connecting with the child. That's what we try to do. We connect with every child. Because don't forget, the children at our schools that we work with have 50 children in the classroom. So the ones that are really needy are overlooked, because there's just too many children. And when you come here, the class is never bigger than 16 children. We prefer 8. So with the number of volunteers we have and the number of staff members, the children get a lot of personal attention, which is why they do so well.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
And then another story is a very exciting one. Her name is I can use her name, it's Banati Faki. And Banati was 7 when she came to Imibala. She lives in Momzamo, the township, just outside Somerset West. Single mom, she has a brother. And Banati came through the whole program with the school uniform. She attended classes. And when she matriculated, she got a bursary to go to the College of Tourism in Graaff-Reinet, another charity that is sponsored and founded by Mrs. Rupert.
Okay.
And Banati did very well. She graduated, top of her class, came to Somerset West, and we got her a job in the kitchen at the 5-star Edinburgh Hotel. For a year, she did well, and then she moved to the Edinburgh Golf Club, and she worked there for 2 years. After 2 years, she came to me, and she said, no, she's not happy. She would like to further her studies. What is the possibility that she can do that? Can we support her? So we gave her a bursary, and she just finished 2 years at the International Hotel School in Johannesburg. Again, top of the class, was selected ambassador by the other students.
Wow.
And she was sponsored by a German sponsor, a very interesting man who had been very generous in Imibala. And he then got her an internal position in a kitchen at a Michelin-star restaurant in Germany, and she's going there in January for 6 months. So when we asked her, so what do you want to do after 6 months? You want to stay in Europe? And no. She wants to, surely she can study further. There must be a better school than the International Hotel School in Johannesburg. And there is. There is this very famous school for culinary arts in Switzerland. It's 100,000 euros a year. So it's not for anybody, for everybody. And the sponsor said, fine, you do well in your 6 months, I will send you to this School of Culinary Arts and you can study there and he will pay for everything. So this is not just about opportunity, we just provide opportunities, but it still takes the child to be really disciplined and wanting this. And both those two children really wanted to break out of the environment they were in. Banati is the perfect example of a young, strong, black African woman who wasn't gonna take it. She wasn't gonna be in the township for the rest of her life. She wanted to better herself. And I remember when we put her on the taxi to go to the airport to fly to Johannesburg, her boyfriend came with, and he was loading the suitcases in the back of the taxi. And I asked her, and how about this one? Your boyfriend? He must take the back seat. If he doesn't like it, he will not be my boyfriend. This is about me, Banati, what I want in life, and no boyfriend's gonna hold me back. He's still the boyfriend.
Yeah, look at that.
He stuck around, yeah.
He knew his place.
Yeah. But that's a strong young woman for you. So it takes two to tango. We can provide you opportunities, but it still needs a youngster that is willing to go the extra mile.
100%. And I also just love the inciting of the passion. And also, I mean, it really must, how can I say, build their own self-esteem through, how can I say, taking on these challenges, right? Because they never know, we never know what we're capable of until we go out and do it. And again, it really does help to have organizations like Imibala where they perhaps are given the opportunity, but then as you say, it's on them as well to actually go that extra mile to show that, you know, this is what they want to do and that they are going to do it. Is an incredible thing.
Yeah, because if you're giving something, you don't have to do anything in return. It's not going to work. We have a philosophy: if we wanted more than a child, it's not going to work.
That's a good point you just made there. Yeah. So also, Theo, tell me about this mural. That's not quite this one, although you can tell us about this one too. But just behind us, I think it was on that side.
It's on the outside.
Is it? Yeah.
Jonella and Cindy is the artist. He came to Imibala at a very young age, never touched a brush in his life, and he had this incredible talent. Fast forward, bursary for fine arts, graduated and came back in 2021, and he painted this amazing mural outside in a couple of weeks. Just super brilliant. His murals are all over the townships. He does big projects in Africa.
Wow. And how long did it take him to do that?
That was about 3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, that is incredible, truly. But yes, so shifting here a bit, I want to know, Theo, what have been some of your biggest challenges since you took on the role of CEO, and how have you managed to overcome them?
The biggest challenges is that our children, most of our children do not have fathers or mothers in their lives. So we become their family. So to me that was a big responsibility, which I underestimated. I'm from Holland. I didn't grow up in South Africa, so I wasn't really familiar with the different cultures that we communities we serve. So I learned the hard way. I made all the mistakes you make as a European. And I had to learn to understand where our kids are coming from and how basic their needs actually are. One example is we had 2 children that were falling asleep in class all the time, 2 brothers. We couldn't figure out why, and we eventually got them in play therapy, and it came out that there's 10 of them in a family. They live in a 15 square meter shack.
Wow.
And they were taking turns to sleep.
Wow.
That's the level of poverty we are dealing with. So that was quite an eye-opener for me. The other thing is when the children come here for the first time, we can't get them out of the bathrooms because they're not used to proper bathrooms and running water. So it's those very basic needs those were my biggest challenges, to really understand the needs, and to also not look down on their cultures, because they've got very rich cultures.
Definitely.
So it's been a huge learning curve for me to appreciate and respect where they come from, but in the same time try to offer them an opportunity to see what is out there, what is there waiting for them if they want to break out of the circle of poverty that most of them are in. And then we offer those opportunities, but that's been my biggest challenge. and also to deal with children that are severely traumatized. I'm not going to give you examples because we all start getting emotional. But there's been some serious cases where it's difficult. Because they become our family. And we tell every child that comes to Imibala, from now on, you are part of our family. And we don't lie. So we've taken on the role of fathers and mothers in many, many, many instances.
That's beautiful.
We have acclaim, who is a Yes-Ya-Yebo cast member. He just turned 18. He is a diver, commercial diver.
Oh, wow.
And we sponsored, well, he was sponsored by the diving club as well, and we sponsored him partly, and he's now doing his rescue diving diploma. Then he is going to go get his commercial diving diploma. And there's only 121,000 commercial divers in the world. It's the most employable job. But he's going on a journey, he's going to go overseas to do diving, etc. And his dad came with him because I wanted to show my respect. And the dad, listen, we're doing all this with your son, and I don't want to step on your toes as a father. And it was a very, very emotional meeting. And in the end, the father handed over his son, and I didn't know what was hitting me. He said, I'm giving you my child.
Yeah.
I'm literally giving you my child. He is becoming your responsibility now.
That is a big responsibility.
And that is massive. And I wasn't expecting that. So, of course, we take that responsibility very seriously. But here's a father that's telling you, you are now responsible for my child. Because if you're sending him overseas, I'm going to look at you to look after him. I can't do it.
100%.
So there's challenges.
Wow.
But nothing we can't overcome.
100%, especially with an attitude like that.
Well, you have to learn. If you're not open to adapt, and there's something called an adaptive intelligence, apart from EQ and IQ. If you can't adapt, then you're not going to succeed in this world that we are living in as a charity.
Yeah, and not only that, but the world at large, especially with all the changes that are happening almost on a daily basis, it's very necessary to be able to adapt. So to be able to inculcate a characteristic like that is vital. It's vital nowadays.
Stay current.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you feel these experiences have helped shape your perspective and your character in general, where you sit now?
It's been amazing. This is my happy place. It made me a better person. I've been volunteering at charities for like 40 years now, so I've been doing it for a very long time. But running a charity like Imibala has just made me a better person. I'm in the best space of my life. At this age, I can't think of a better time as where I am now, balance-wise. As a human being, it's a privilege to do what we do here. And I think if you ask any of my staff members, most of them will tell you exactly the same thing.
Well, from where I'm sitting here, I can see that it completely agrees with you.
100%.
And so could you maybe delve into a bit more of Imibala's its ethos?
It's very simple, Colin. It's respect, grace, and courtesy. With the kindness as a nice layer all over it.
The icing on top.
Yeah, it's so basic, but it's what the world has forgotten. If you look at people like Donald Trump on the big stage, completely disrespectful to so many cultures and people and community. We don't need that. We need people that are respectful. Yes, you want change. We all want change, and we have to go forward. Standing still is going backward. But there is some very basic elements that need to be incorporated in change. And I think respect, grace, and courtesy, and kindness it doesn't cost anything. It literally doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost any effort. It's just change your attitude and be like that.
And you get exponential returns on that too, just from being, the more genuine you are, the more open-hearted you are, the kinder you are. People are generally likely to respond in kind to that. Yeah.
They do. It's hard to be nasty towards kindness.
Yeah,
it's very hard.
It is. Yeah.
So if someone is having a chip on his shoulder or just having an extremely bad day, just be kind, and it's amazing. They can't resist.
100%. So, what does the future of Imibala look like, Theo? Are there any new initiatives that you could share with us, or they
Yeah,
still secret?
no, there's no secrets at Imibala. No, everything is an open book. So by having 4 Imibalas by April next year, operational, we want at least 10 satellites. So the nice thing about Maria's-Berg, to give you an example, is the municipality came to us, which is a very good feel-good story as well. So they came to us. The mayor came here for Swartland with his team. They looked at what we, and they said, we want Imibala in Maria's-Berg. It's needed. There's a lot of street children. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of problems. And we said, okay, that's fine, but how are we going to finance it? No, we'll give you a building and land. So
Wow.
they gave us the
Really?
old commando center with 5,000 square meter land and a 20-year leasehold for 120 rand, inclusive of that per year.
That's wow.
Yeah, so we then found a sponsor that was willing to oversee the project and the renovations and paying for it. So it's literally what I'm very excited about is that we're being recognized by the municipalities now in the work we do, and they're coming to the party. So here's another South Africa for you, where everybody's always complaining about government and government institutions and municipalities. Here's a municipality that came to us, took the initiative, gave us a building. So kudos to Swartland municipality and Mayor Cleophas for being proactive and really wanting to make a difference in the poorer communities.
Yeah, that's so nice.
So we want 10 in the next 5 years.
Okay, okay.
Our international fundraising offices are fully functioning: Amsterdam, London, Frankfurt, and hopefully New York. And we're doing 6 overseas fundraisers next year.
Oh, wow.
In the Netherlands, in Switzerland, in England, in Germany. And then we always have our big gala in February in Vergelegen Wijnstad here in Somerset West, where we have celebrities come from all over the world and we raise a lot of money. Because this is a beast that needs to be fed constantly.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, so that's what I focus on is getting the money in to keep doing what we're doing and to increase the number of children we support. The waiting lists are long. The need is there. So we just need to help as many children as we get.
Okay, okay. And Theo, I wanted to ask, what is the legacy that you hope to leave behind with Imibala?
I hope Imibala is going to be here for the next 40 years. That's the goal.
Minimum.
Yeah. No, this place must be here long after I'm gone, long after Mrs. Rupert's gone. This place must be here and do what they're doing. So I don't want to talk about a legacy. It's an ongoing thing.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it needs to continue. So that's what we're trying to build. Is a sustainable charity that is not depending on one person or family, that is supported by many, and that is sustainable enough to last for another 40, 50 years.
I really love that vision. Yeah, it is, and I actually truly believe that it will, because from what I've seen here, from the tour that Hannah gave us earlier, to just some of the other staff members that I met, it's just you guys really have cultivated such a beautiful environment here where everybody seems to actually want to be here. You know, it's not like so unfortunately we do have a culture where a lot of people are having to work jobs that they don't want to do just to get by. But here it seems like, they want to be here. They're happy to do the work, which is so refreshing to see.
No, because we get so much love back from the children. What's more fulfilling than that? So, and you get paid for it. Look, we don't pay corporate salaries, but being paid for something you love doing, and then getting so much back from the children. Where you go find it somewhere else. You won't.
That's fair. Yeah.
And that's what I love about the young generation.
Wow, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off.
That's what I love about the young generation. They really want that balance. That balance needs to be there. It's not all about work and making money. It's about balance. Equality.
All right, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. But I do have one last question for you, Theo. But before I do that, before I ask that, is there anything else you'd like to share that you would like to share with our viewers watching?
Make a difference. Do random acts of kindness. What I do every day. 3 random people, make them a compliment. Either about their hair, the way they look, or the shoes they wear. And it's amazing what a simple gesture like that can do. Just be kind. Just just do random acts of kindness. It's unbelievable what's small, because we all say we can't change the world. Yes, we can. Imagine if everybody does that.
Yeah.
If everybody
Right.
does a little act of kindness every day, the world's a totally different place, I promise you.
No, I agree.
And it's really not that complicated. We don't need politicians to do that. Because we keep forgetting. Everybody tells, yeah, the politicians must make the country better. No, that's not what politicians are for. They're there to govern and create rules and so that everybody functions. But we, the people, need to make the changes.
We need to be the ones to make that change, yeah.
Exactly.
Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, no, thank you, Theo. I love that. And so I suppose that kind of feeds into it. It might touch on the same thing, but let's see what else comes out of it. What if you had one message for the youth of our country? What would it be and why?
One message, again, it sounds boring, but just be kind. Just be kind. It all starts with kindness. Everything. It all comes from there. If you are kind to yourself, first and foremost, be kind to yourself.
That's a very good point, yes.
Secondly, be kind to your family, to your friends, to people around you. Be open and make contact with people. Don't be on your phone when you're having a chat with someone. Make contact with people, eye contact, and really be interested in someone that you're talking to. That is so massively important. Social media is amazing. I'm not going to be an old fart that tells you that it's horrible. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But
how we
make sure that you don't lose that ability to make contact with another human being on a personal level.
100%.
It's very, very important. And be kind.
Only a genuine heart can reach out and grab another's.
Exactly. Yeah, well said.
Well, thank you, Theo. I think this has been an incredible conversation. I have really enjoyed getting to know more about Imibala and just the absolute incredible work that you guys are doing on a daily basis here. And I really do hope you guys nothing but continued success and prosperity and thriving and the continued unfurling of your students' potential to the maximum degree. Yeah.
Thank you, and thanks for giving me the platform.
All right, of course. And to our viewers, thank you again very much for watching. We appreciate you. We couldn't do it without you. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay kind.